Everyone, it's me, Andrew, and this is your yearly forecast for the year of 2015. This is amazing that I'm even able to do this right now. 2014 has been probably one of the best years I've ever had, as far as just meeting people and experiencing things and just kind of moving beyond my comfort zone into something that I know that I'm meant to do, getting my certifications as a certified angel card reader and really getting the chance to interact with all of you. It's just been an amazing year, and I'm looking so forward to what is coming in 2015. I am going to be using the Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Riley Valentine. I know most of you are probably very familiar with this deck, as it is the one that is used in the Certified Angel Card Reader class. So here's how this is going to work. We have 2 days in December that are not accounted for because the weekly reading only goes to the 29th. So I am going to draw one card for those 2 days that which is the 30th and 31st, and that will be kind of the third of a weekly reading. So this is the card that I'm going to draw for the weekly reading, and I'll let you know what to expect in those 2 days and kind of see what we got going on. Alright, so we have got the Two of Fire for December 30th and 31st. So this is saying that, and this is so perfect, this is a perfect card. This card is saying that 2014, because I'm looking at this card as kind of retrospect on the year before as well as for those 2 days ahead, that you've really come into your own, that you've really you have found out a lot about yourself this year, and this card is saying continue to move forward, continue to do those things that are going to lift you up and take you higher. This card also talks about new partnerships, which you see those two people in here. So new partnerships or contracts. They're telling me that the partnership is talking about this partnership with your higher self and God. That you really focus on that this year, and that you really focused on stepping outside of your comfort zone, and you really put a lot of emphasis on your spiritual growth. And they're saying that they're congratulating you for that, and they're saying that this next year is kind of going to follow along with this card. So that was the card for your kind of 2014 retrospect and those December 30th and 31st. So it's a really good congratulatory card. So here's how this is going to work. I am going to draw 13 cards, one for each month, and then one for kind of a overall theme of the year. So let's see here. Let's find a January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and the one for the overview. And it's like Doreen Virtue said, she says in almost all of her videos for her weekly readings, I believe, that you cannot make a mistake with the cards. The cards that you draw are meant to come out. The cards that you draw are meant to kind of bring a sense of peace, because you know that this is the card that you're meant to get. So I also, if you see me writing during this, I have my journal here to kind of write down any notes or things that I kind of get from God and the angels during this reading. These over here. Okay. So with that being said, let's begin. For January, we have the Balance card, which is Archangel Zadkiel. And this card talks about a need for balance and moderation. So, and also cooperation and compromise. This card is one that is saying, okay, you've had a crazy year, you've had a good year, but it's time to balance yourself. Balance the giving and receiving part. Because I know a lot of times at Christmas, we can get so crazy, we can just get, so out of whack spiritually because we have so much to do. This card is saying, okay, all that's over. Come back and just balance yourself. And really take a look at yourself and balance those male and female energies, so the giving and receiving energies that you have. And whatever you're waiting for this year, whatever you've been praying for in 2014 that you didn't get, just believe in perfect timing. Believe in divine timing because it's coming. It's yours. You just have to wait for the right timing. Because a lot of times if we get what we want before we're supposed to have it, it just ruins everything and it throws everything out of whack. So just trust in God's timing on that. That's the kind of theme for January, is balance and timing. So February, we have the World card. We're off to a really good start with these major arcana cards. When you get a lot of major arcana cards, it means that something big is going to happen. So we'll see how the rest of this plays out, but this is really good so far. And we're only in February. So in February, it's talking about a job well done. It's talking about joy, contentment, and gratitude, and the path toward enlightenment. Now, I will say this, and I've talked about this with a lot of my friends and a lot of the people that I know. There is a shift that's taking place right now, and you probably are aware of it. I would imagine if you're on Facebook and you have kind of spiritual pages that you like or groups you're a part of or whatever. There's a shift taking place that people are. I don't want to say. I don't want to sound mean, but people are kind of stepping away from religion and kind of stepping into spirituality and realizing that we all come from love, and that's what we go back to. We all come from a place that is heaven, basically, and that's our home, and we go back there. And it's a place of love. It's a place of contentment, and people are realizing that more and more now because people are opening up spiritually. They're opening their minds up to a lot of things that they normally wouldn't. So there's a really great time of enlightenment coming, and it's absolutely amazing when you see people just kind of opening up and realizing that, hey, I'm willing to look at this through different eyes. So this card for February really talks about, it confirms that there is a shift going on, that there is a path toward enlightenment that a lot of people are following now. And this card is also a congratulatory card, because I feel like, and to be honest, this card kind of falls in line with the message of the first card. The first card talked about balance and moderation and a need for timing. This card is a congratulatory card because it's saying, hey, you're doing great. Or you did great. You were waiting and you balanced yourself and you really got in tune with yourself. And what you were waiting for is coming now. Like right now, because you did what we asked, or what we advised you to do, rather. So this card talks about joy, contentment, and gratitude. And never forget that gratitude is what opens our heart to receive more. And when we're truly thankful, and we're not just saying we're thankful to get stuff. When we're really thankful, that's when God and the angels and Mother Mary and everybody loves to bless us because we're grateful. So February is amazing. The World card talks about good fortune. It talks about a lot of good things coming in February, and it confirms there is a shift taking place, and that you did good in January, balancing your emotions and your spirituality, and also having patience and waiting for divine timing. Ooh. For March, we have another major arcana card. This is the Ego card. In a traditional tarot, this is known as the Devil card. And this card talks about a false sense of entrapment. It talks about taking your focus off spiritual things and putting it on material things. And once we do that, we kind of feel trapped because we're focused on what we don't have instead of what we do have. And that's the biggest trap in the world, is to kind of fall with the things that you don't have and put your focus on the things you don't have instead of the things that you do. So March, this card is a cautionary card for March, letting you know, hey, don't be focused on material things. You know, put your focus above all on your spirituality and your spiritual growth, and then, you know, you'll have an amazing like mindset, and you'll be able to manifest a lot more. But when you have negative and fear-based thoughts, um, it kind of hinders your manifestation power. And so in March, it's one of those cards that they're saying just be weary of ego-based thoughts. Be weary of those. And you're not trapped. You know, we make our own prisons. You know, and we can break out of our own prisons. So that's for March. So like I said, so far we have 3 major arcana cards. And this is the card that's going to shake things up a little bit. It's the Two of Earth. So it's not a major arcana card. This is January, February, March, April. Wow. I forgot what card it was. This card is, anytime you see the Earth card, or Earth cards, it talks about kind of material things, and it talks about, like, stuff like outside of us, like external things. And the Two of Earth card talks about you have a lot going on. Like, you have just a lot kind of everywhere kind of going on. And you know, a lot of times when we have things like this going on, it's easy for us to get overwhelmed and get really serious. This card is just saying, have a playful approach. You know, April is when spring comes. I think it's March, actually, but when we think of April, we think about springtime and bunnies and Easter. You know, candy, I don't know, for April. For springtime, just beautiful, beautiful springtime. This card talks about really considering that playful approach. And because springtime is when the earth is just coming back to life. It's you see flowers blooming again. You see everything just coming back to life, and that's what this card is saying to do. This card is saying follow the cycles of the earth. You know, really take a look at the earth and look how everything is just coming forth, and how the flower doesn't think about blooming, it just does. So don't think about what is going on. Don't think about what you have to do. As long as you are in tune with your higher self and God and the angels, it's just going to happen naturally. So remember, the flower doesn't think about blooming, it just does. Actually, they gave me that. I'm going to write that down. Alright. Sorry, guys. I had to write that down. That's really cute. Okay, so we have another Earth card for January, February, March, April, May. So May, we have the Four of Earth. 4 you generally see like as a foundation, as a card that the 4s in each suit. I'll just say this: the 4s in each suit represent kind of like foundational, like laying a foundation, and a strong foundation at that. This card, the Four of Earth, as you can see, it's really pretty. It talks about being too frivolous or too cautious with money, and making good business decisions, but also giving to those less fortunate. So this is talking about by giving, we lay a very strong foundation for ourselves for receiving. So what they kind of just showed me is the more that you give, and it doesn't have to be money, it doesn't have to be, you know, copious amounts of money, but it can be just your time or just lending an ear to someone. Every time we give, they just showed me like this rickety table. And every time we give, the legs on this table, they grow stronger. And the table grows stronger. And if we have a rickety table and we keep receiving things, that table is kind of going to get overwhelmed. Even though it's all good things, the table is going to get overwhelmed because it doesn't know what's going to happen next. And kind of like with us, when we receive a lot of good things and we don't give a lot, we kind of don't know where to put our focus. because we have a lot of good things going on, but at the same time, there's a lot going on. Even if it's good, sometimes a lot of good things can be stressful too. And so this is saying that the more that you give, the stronger the legs of that table is going to get, and the better your foundation is going to be for receiving things, and you'll be stronger, and you'll be able to more readily use the gifts that you're going to get because you'll have a clear vision because you give time. And so whatever you get, you're going to give and get and give and get and give. And you'll notice a huge change because of the cycles that we go through as far as giving and receiving and balancing, and which is what the first card was about, giving and receiving. So the more you give, the more balanced you'll be in receiving, and the stronger your foundation will be for receiving. Okay, so for January, February, March, April, May, June. June we have the Six of Fire. The Six of Fire card talks about victory. You see rose petals, you see people dancing in the streets. This card kind of reminds me of like a hero that's returned home, from battle, or it's just, really, really, really amazing. And when you look at this card, and this card talks about good news coming. This card talks about being victorious and things that you've been trying to accomplish, and good news, and really expecting good news. If you have something going on, expect good news. Is what they're saying. So good news is coming, but you have to expect good news for it to come, because it'll follow the path of your manifestation. So if the good news wants to go this way, but you're focused on negative stuff and it goes this way, it's going to follow the path of your manifestation. So it's going to follow the path, either way you go, it's going to follow it. So keep your thoughts positive and expect good news in May, because it's going to be a good month. You're going to really, they kind of just showed me like a picture of a catapult. Like you're going to feel like, because April is kind of going to be where that month where you kind of give and you feel like you can't give anymore and you kind of feel tapped out, and you kind of feel like you've been pulled back. But they showed me in May that catapult, it goes whew, and it launches you into the most amazing thing you could ever hope for. So that's really, really good. May is going to be full of good news and a lot of excitement, and just a lot of, like, if you see the energy on this card, you just see just celebrations and festive and just amazing things that are going on in this card because they're so happy. So for July, which is my birth month, we have the Knight of Fire. And one thing that you probably know about this deck is it lists attributes of a person up here, and then it lists the what the card means on the bottom. So this card talks about sudden events. It talks about like something coming up immediately that needs your attention, where a time is going to be of the essence. And even though there's going to be something coming up that needs your immediate attention, take time to think carefully. And they're not really saying it's something negative. It's just saying that something's going to just pop up and you're going to have to make an instant decision. And that instant decision, in that time, you have to weigh your pros and cons. But this also talks about someone who's passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. So if this matches you, which I think it can match everybody at a certain time in their lives. So what I'm kind of getting from this is that July is going to be a really passionate time. It's going to be a time of adventure. That's when a lot of people go on vacation. But there's kind of going to be an undertone in July of restlessness, of wanting something to happen or not knowing quite what to do or what to say. But they're saying that's going to go away because whatever you're trying to decide between is going to pop up, and you're going to have to immediately say yes or no. So July is going to be a month of confidence in yourself, restlessness a little bit with kind of what's going on, with wanting more things to happen than are happening right now. But by the end of the month, you're going to have that decision to make as far as what you want to do, and it's going to have to be a quick one. So, for the month of August, we have the Eight of Air. And this card is kind of synonymous with the meanings of the Devil card, or the Ego card, I'm sorry. The Eight of Air talks about the illusion of being trapped, and really talks about a lack of self-confidence. So in August, you're going to have to make a... What they're actually telling me is that it's going to carry over. So like I said, by the end of July, you're going to have that decision to make. In August, you're going to have a lack of self-confidence about the decision that you made. But keep in mind that you did make the right decision, or you're going to make the right decision, sorry. And you're not trapped. Like I said before, we make our own prisons and we can break out of our own prisons. So it's not something that you're trapped in. It's not something that you're not able to change. So really come against that mindset in 2015 that you're trapped, because you're not. So for September, we have the Page of Fire. Pages often represent young people like me, or like people that have a young mindset, people that are really open, kind of like a child, people have a childlike faith, and people who are just ready for an adventure. This card talks about news of an exciting endeavor and using your originality and your ingenuity to really make the most of the opportunity that you've been given. So you see on this card you have a baby dragon, and I'm guessing this is a phoenix. So what this is telling me is that there is going to be a new beginning in September, that you'll need a refresher, and this is going to be it. Because you can see like there's kind of like castles in the sky, and a dragon, and a phoenix, and it's just amazing. You know, September's going to be a really good month because it's going to be full of new things and new endeavors, and it's going to be really, really good in September. But you're going to really have to use your creativity and your originality, because your originality is what's going to make the experience even better. Alright, so for October, we have another major arcana card, which is the Emperor, which is Archangel Michael. And this card, you can see he's very, the Emperor is a very stern person. He's very, he's compassionate, but he's stern and serious. Like, he's not mean, but he's just the word fierce kind of comes to mind when you see him, or when you encounter an Emperor situation. You know, he's very fierce and serious, but he's also very, very loving and willing to help you, just like Archangel Michael. You know, every time we see Michael, he has this sword right there. You know, he's a very muscular, strong angel, and you don't mess around with Archangel Michael. You know, people, they ask for him for protection, but he's so loving and gentle too. So October is going to be a month of really stepping into a leadership position, and really kind of being an organized and logical leader through a lot of, like this card says, structure and discipline is what they're really saying. And, don't be afraid to take time out by yourself, because when you see this card, you see the city in the background, and you see him, and you see like he's kind of like stepped away from it all. So you're going to be in a leader. You're going to have to take on a leadership position, but don't be afraid, because you see he has like a lyre or like a guitar or something there. Don't be afraid to show your sensitive side when it comes to this. Because in October there's going to be a leadership position you're going to have to take, and it can only be fully effective if you show both your stern side and your loving side. Ooh, so we have another major arcana card, the Dreamer. The Dreamer talks about, and this is Archangel Metatron. This is Metatron right here. This card is one of my favorites. It talks about a leap of faith. It talks about really just like closing your eyes and being and like taking the step off of the cliff and just going for it, and just saying, I'm leaving my comfort zone. This is what's happening. So the Dreamer, obviously follow your dreams, and there's gonna be a lot of unexpected opportunities in November that you never even thought that were gonna happen are gonna happen in November. So be really, really, really on the lookout and keep that mindset and make wishes. A lot of times people think, "Oh, I'm too old to make a wish." You're never too old to make a wish. Ask Archangel Metatron to really help you in manifesting your wishes, because he's amazing at that. I mean, this card is one of the richest cards you'll see. You have a heron, which talks about magic and reincarnation. You have a dog. You have a unicorn. You have an angel. I mean, they're just amazing, helpers that we have on the other side. So November is going to be a really great month to really step into your dreams and to step into that area of your life that you really need to, or not need to, but rather want to step into. So for December, we have the Ten of Water. So we finish off the year with a very contented and rewarding family life. This year has met our emotional and material needs and has really provided for us trustworthy relationships. What they did show me, though, is that this year is not going to be without its tides, without its waves, without its, storms. And that's just known. We know it's never going to be smooth sailing all the time. But what they're showing me is that, the waves and the storms that come in 2015, your boat's never going to sink. That you're really strong, and you've had 2014 was a year for all of us. It was good. It was a good year. But it was filled with a lot of loss. It was filled with a lot of emotions and a lot of turmoil and a lot of sadness. A lot sometimes, but it was also filled with love, laughter, and friendship. And it's just like it is every year. We're going to have ups and downs. We're going to have tragedies. We're going to have heartaches. We're going to have amazing things that happen. We're going to have sad things that happen. We're going to have things that just blow us away because they're so amazing. But by the end of the year, you're going to see that family life and that rewarding life that you want. Not just a family life, but a life that is so rewarding and full of trustworthy relationships. So it's going to be a great year for working on family issues, especially in the month of December when family comes back to your house. It's going to be a good year. Taking a step back and looking at these cards, I see that the majority of the cards that we do have are major arcana, or we have 5 major arcana cards. We have 2 earth cards, 3 fire cards, 1 air card, and 1 water card. So having not necessarily a predominance in the number of cards, but a predominance in the kind, because the cards don't outweigh everything else. But we do have 5 major arcana cards. So the major arcana cards say that there are going to be some big things happening this year. And what they're kind of showing me is they're all kind of going to be related to spiritual things. So each card, and I've pretty much told you guys all this, but spiritual things are going to be going on this year, and the major arcana cards that we see have really given that to us. The card for the overview of the year. Card number 13, Release, which is the Death card in traditional tarot, which talks about new cycles, rebirth, and just regeneration, just letting go of the things we don't want. So this year is really going to be a year of endings and beginnings. It's going to be but mainly a year of ending the things that you don't really want to see in your life anymore. And look what it says. Spiritual transformation. did not look at this card before I drew it. But I guess they were telling me that the spiritual things that are going to be going on this year is going to be a year of spiritual transformation. It's going to be a time where we have to decide if we want to stay where we are or move on. And this is an amazing card for an overview of the year. So I am very excited about this upcoming year because it's going to be a year full of spiritual transformation and just spiritual manifestation and just amazing things. So I am very, very excited about seeing what is going to be going on in 2015. And remember that it is a year that you can release what you want. You don't have to stay where you are. You don't have to hold on to things that hurt you. Release it. Just release it. Give it to God. Give it to the angels. And you will notice the spiritual transformation will come so much easier to you once you let go of things that are holding you back. That was your yearly reading for 2015. And this is the same exact reading that I will do for you on my website or through my website. When you purchase the reading, you will get a reading like that with 13 cards and kind of a yearly overview of what's going to happen for you, or what your year is going to be like. So we're going to have a really great year, it looks like. So I'm really, really excited about it. I really hope you guys had an amazing holiday season. Whatever you celebrate, I pray that it was amazing and happy and filled with love and light. And I will see you guys next year. Angel blessings.